So I don't have to tell you that every one of us in America right now are just waiting to see what the death toll is going to really amount to. At first we were told millions, then we were told hundreds of thousands, then we were told much, much less than that. So we're really waiting right now. And I've kind of, we've noticed that we've migrated this name once. We started out with coronavirus, and then it became COVID-19. I'm suggesting we rename it something else called the boogeyman virus, because what it's turning out to be, all this hysteria that the media has created, and the Democrats pushing that right behind this, it's turned out to be something of a myth that children have of the boogeyman, and not being real, and something that we're just chasing after illusions of things that are in the closet and are just not there. Something I haven't heard anybody really talk about here is establishing really a baseline, benchmarking it for some of you in the computer or in the tech industry. So what does that mean? What's a baseline? Well, a baseline is something that we can make a comparative analysis about and establish what's normal. It's really just a fancy term for what's really normal. And we don't have really any way to know that, because never in history have we been testing in real time and seeing updates minute by minute by minute in the 24/7 news cycle. That's never happened. So we don't know what is astronomical, what is minute. We have no perspective because nobody has established a baseline in this yet. So really the things that are flashed across the news screens right now, it's really meaningless. Listen, it can be 1 million people that have COVID-19, the boogeyman virus, or it can be 500 million people. What does that matter? What really matters is how many people is it taking out of life? What's the mortality rate on that? So, did you know in the USA, every year, 2,813,503 people die? Yeah. What does that break down into a day? Into a day, that means that over 7,700 people die in America every day. Okay, well, let's compare that to COVID-19. How many of those are included in the COVID-19 numbers? Okay, just because they had a heart attack or liver failure or something. You've heard me say this before. We don't know. Doctors are not absolutely confirming, and it's just the way the medical industry has handled this right now in the CDC. We don't have a definitive determination that it was one thing or the other. So did you know that we have 1,641 deaths a day for cancer? Okay, but there's no hysteria over that. We've gradually come into this age of having a lot of cancer everywhere, and for what reasons we don't know. It could be environmental, whatever. Okay. We're not hysterical over those things, and those are far greater numbers. So according to the World Health Organization, often referred to now as WHO, viral hepatitis caused an annual 1.3 million deaths worldwide in 2015. You get that? Viral hepatitis. It's been around forever. 325 million people, that's about 4.4% of the world's population, have viral hepatitis. Are we having hysteria about that? Because there's a lot of different ways you can get hepatitis. Okay? And 1.75 million new infections of hep C alone have occurred this year. 1.75 million. Are we going hysterical about that? Hysterical. Are we? No. The flu caused 3 to 5 million cases of severe illness and about, get this, 290,000 deaths to 650,000 deaths each year worldwide. Okay, now let's stop. Why is there such a huge number between 290,000 and 650,000? You know why? Because we don't know for sure. Those are people that could have died from diabetes, from kidney failure, from a stroke, from all kinds of different things that just got factored in. Oh, well, they had flu at the time they died. Okay, let's count that as flu. Or we ought to just be hysterical on the other side of that the flu is killing all these people. The regular flu is killing all these people, right? That's the only logical conclusion, but you don't hear this talked about. So in the U.S., the CDC estimates that from around 2010, 2011 to 2013, 2014, the influenza-associated deaths in the United States ranged from the low 12,000 to the high 56,000. Okay? Again, why such a big variance in number? Because we don't know for sure. And right now, in the middle of this hysteria over COVID-19, the boogeyman virus, okay, it's the same thing. I believe that a lot of the stuff that's getting attributed to COVID-19 absolutely caused it, attributed to other things. Okay, let's not beat a dead horse here. So did you know right now that 20% of our population that gets COVID-19, the boogeyman virus, they don't even know it. They had it and went. They didn't even know it. Okay? They didn't know it. And other people have such mild symptoms of it, they're not concerned about it. Okay? Again, not to diminish the people that have succumbed to this in a radical way. I've talked to a personal friend that works in trauma centers and in the ER. His third year, and he's telling me, yeah, it's a real thing that's happening in there. But this whole thing started because, oh my gosh, we were going to have millions of people in the hospital, okay? And we were going to have beds, we were going to have respirators, we were going to have the equipment to take care of them and hopefully save some of their lives. That's how this whole thing started, okay? But we're past that now, okay? We're past that boogeyman aspect of this, all right? So it's time to get back to work. Now, you're going to say, okay, yeah, but look at the other parts of the world, Italy and China. Okay, let me tell you something. I lived in a third world Asian country for 3 years, okay? People don't have tissue in these. You know how they deal with this? When they have a stuffy nose, it goes in their hands and it gets wiped on their shirt. I'm sorry to be gross, but that's how it is. You go into a restaurant, you don't have napkins to wipe your mouth with, all right? No disrespect for these other countries, okay? I'm just saying that's the way it is, all right? So they're filthy. They're filthy that way, okay? So, of course, people are going to get sick when you live in that kind of environment. New York City's so packed in there. You've got people touching everything. You've got cockroaches walking from one apartment to the other apartment. You've got rats going from one apartment through the walls to the other wall. Why can't they be transmitted that way, okay? So what's scary about this right now is not this virus so much, but how overnight we just imprisoned ourselves and we voluntarily gave up our freedoms. So there are vampire people out there that just hunger for power, and they like to gain their power through the suffering of others and subduing them. So you got to ask yourself, why would some of these governors say, no, we're going to ban hydroxychloroquine, this malaria drug? Why would they say that? Why are they going to ban it? If there's any chance you've got a dying loved one in a hospital, okay, and there's any chance this drug, and it does, I've listened to lupus doctors that had 2,000 patients, no side effects when in the proper dosage, talk about this miraculous drug, and who the heck cares that we haven't done a double-blind test for 10 years and determined that for this particular usage is safe. Heck, it's safe for usage in the prescribed version for lupus, okay? So it's going to be safe for this application. And if there's even a 1% chance, 1 out of 100 people, that it's going to save their life, then damn it, we better be using it. What the hell is wrong with these governors? I'll tell you what's wrong with them, okay? These are the same people that put people underneath communist dictatorships, okay? They are power hungry. Take a breath for a minute here. And what's propelled this whole thing? Well, yeah, there's been people in government that have helped prepare it, or helped propel it. World Health Organization, again, propelling things, and it's turning out they're very cozy with the Chinese communists that are known for covering up things, okay? Our own news media right now that is engaged for 3 years in trying to assassinate the character of our president, making up and fabricating just the filthiest of stories on our president. Okay, now Adam Schiff wants to come along and make his own special COVID-19 commission. And no, it's not about blaming anybody. No. You think that's going to happen? You think that's just going to happen and it's not going to be another witch hunt again like we've had all this time? And even before President Trump used the term witch hunt, we on the conservative side, we knew this was a witch hunt to begin with. All right, so think about this when you listen to the news next time. Every time you hear these phrases like unproven, might not help, no studies, all right? This is just obfuscation, okay? It's misdirection. Look here, let's take the people that aren't really thinking for themselves and trick them. That's what this is about, okay? We've got to get back to work, America, okay? Yes, maybe we go back to work and we have a slight rise in cases. That's probably going to happen, okay? But the craziness that's going to ensue if we don't, it's going to wipe America off the map in terms of what we were, okay? Mark my words. You don't want to be in a situation where there is martial law and you've got people like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, just frothing at the mouth like hyenas attacking a lion, right? Hungry to utilize this power grab, okay? Now they've made the people hungry because our food sources have gotten cut off, all right? This is the time they would really move in, and it's happening right now, okay? A friend of mine sent me an email about some company that's come up with a wristband that tracks everything you do. It tracks where you go, how far you are from somebody else, if you have the COVID-19 virus in you, okay? And that gets in the hands of the government, okay? That's just really scary. The government right now that's telling you, in Michigan, for instance, no, you can't go visit your neighbor. If you're living in one house, you can't go across town, get in your car, go see a family member or something. It's forbidden, okay? Police going to pick you up, okay? The police picking a guy off a paddleboard in the ocean out in California. Are you kidding me? A single guy out in the ocean? That's how nuts this has become. And I watched the same thing. Now 6 months ago in California, the home of these crazy Democrats, okay? Where all the worst of the virus is hitting. California, New York, okay? California, 6 months ago, a guy's arrested because he's eating a sandwich on a train platform, okay? Is that the kind of government power you want over your life? Are you ready to give up your freedom for this? I don't think so, America. So here's what you got to do. Before we take up guns and before this turns into a gigantic civil war, you need to get on the phone with your congressman. Now, some of these are not in session right now, okay? You just get a hold of them anyways, because these people, if they're good people that are really representing you, the people, who are working for us and not working for themselves to get rich, you get a hold of them and you talk to them. We got to get America back to work right now. So I'm hearing President Trump talking today that he set a target date for the end of April. That's great news. All right. So you watch out, though. The media is going to work extra time right now behind being puppeteered by the Democrats and their friends that are entrenched in all these places, MSNBC, CNN, the best friends, sweetheart deals they have to just filter the news out to them however they want to filter out the propaganda. There is going to be a very hard push, okay? Because that means all of a sudden, if we start going back to work and we start trying to get back to 50% of normal, what we used to be, then those same Democrats, those same evil scum are losing their power, all right? So we can talk on Facebook again and again and again, back and forth, and argue with these knucklehead moron leftist liberals, okay, that are purely going by emotion and believe whatever they hear, okay, which does nothing. Or we can start talking to the people that are supposed to represent us in this Republic of the United States of America, okay? That's how it's supposed to work. So for God's sakes, before we pick up guns and we go to war, because we're protecting our family from roving bands of people that are hungry, okay, or people out to break in and get their big screen TVs or whatever the heck this crazy country has become, all right? let's try to get it back under control without it becoming martial law and without it becoming civil war. All right? Let's use our government the way it was designed to use before we started shredding the Constitution in this last few weeks over what's happened here in America. Okay? Again, I love all of you. You're American brothers and sisters. Whether I know you or not, maybe we're Facebook friends. Maybe we've never met. Maybe you're just seeing this now somewhere. Okay? I'll pray for you. I'm praying for you, America. God gave us this great nation, and we need to just get back to work and gain our sanity again. Thanks for watching.